In the last lesson that we did for creating satin stitches, we utilized the standard mode for creating the stitches. In this lesson we're going to actually go up and we're going to change the mode to advanced mode, so you can see the difference of digitizing satin stitches utilizing the advanced mode. So, we're going to go to Tools and General Options. We're going to go to the Digitizing tab, and we're going to change this satin mode to advanced. We're not working with complex fills, so we'll keep this the same. So I'm going to come into Standard and go to Advanced and hit OK. A thing to note is the advanced mode is going to be different utilizing the classic satin and the regular satin stitch, but when you're utilizing the steel stitch, it's going to input exactly the same as a standard mode. So let's go ahead and let's zoom into this defined width little swirl here, and we're going to utilize the steel stitch because the column width is the same throughout the structure, and anytime you see that, you definitely want to use the steel stitch. So we're going to come in here, we're going to left mouse click, and I'm going to drop a little stitch here, and then from now on I'm going to hold down the control key to go around these corners. The reason I have to drop a stitch in there is if I don't, it's going to automatically curve the line before it. So let's go ahead and click around this object. The steel stitch is very handy. I utilize this steel stitch quite often anytime I'm doing outlining to fill stitches or objects, or anytime I want a defined width satin stitch, one that's going to be uniform throughout. I utilize the steel stitch, and there are definitely advantages of utilizing it. Whenever you put a satin stitch around like a fill stitch, and let's say you go to resize that object and you're going to make it smaller, well, you get to a point where you can't utilize a steel or a satin stitch anymore because it's just too narrow. And when you're using a steel stitch, you have the ability to convert it directly into a run stitch. So you can actually, it would allow you to resize a design further than you could if you were using like maybe a regular satin stitch around a fill stitch and you went to make that design smaller. So there is some definite advantages of using the steel stitch. So all I was doing is left mouse clicking around. I was holding down control, so it created a curve. When you get to the end, you want to right mouse click. And when you do that, it sets the stitches. And you'll notice that even though we're in advanced mode, it still created that steel stitch exactly the same. So now let's go ahead and let's look at this S. We're going to utilize both the classic satin and the regular satin. Let's go ahead and do the satin first. With the satin stitch, you're going to define one side, right mouse click, and then define the second side. And that's how it's different from the classic satin. So let's go ahead and I'm going to left mouse click on the inside, and I'm going to drop one stitch, and then I'm going to hold down control on my keyboard, and I'm going to go around the inside of this S. And you'll notice that I'm not trying to get it perfect around this S. A lot of times we spend a great amount of time getting something to line up exactly around the outline, and many times it's just very unnecessary. You don't even notice the difference. So I don't spend too much time trying to get it perfect. Okay, so I did the outside. I'm going to right mouse click. I'm going to come back to this side, and I'm going to drop a little stitch in here. I'm going to hold down control, and I'm going to start going around this side. Just holding down control as I left mouse click. And when I get to the end up here, I am just going to right mouse click, and that's going to set the stitches. So I'm going to right mouse click. And you'll notice that it didn't just set the stitches this time. You'll notice that it has these angle lines in here. And I can come in now, because you see on my cursor, below it I have that black dot. I can come in at this point and I can define some angle lines. If I left mouse click and hold, I can click and I can drag. Left mouse click and hold, come in here, click and drag. Left mouse click and hold. So I can actually kind of help it figure out, which angles I want to utilize here, which is a very handy feature actually when working with these. So it just makes sure that I get a really nice uniform angle lines. And I'm going to right mouse click. Now it's going to give me the little green triangle here. That lets me know where do I want it to start stitching. So right now it's kind of recommending right here, you can see. Let's say I know that I want it to start right here on this side, so I'm going to left mouse click over here. It automatically recommends me to go on the other side. This is on this side. I'm going to come in here and I want to put it right here. And once I click right there, you can see that it automatically set those stitches. So you can see it did a very clean, very nice satin. I was able to come in here and choose my angle lines and give it the flow that I wanted. Let's go ahead and let's delete that one. And now let's do the same thing utilizing the classic satin. Classic satin, instead of defining one area, right mouse clicking and then defining the other, you're doing a point counterpoint. You're going back and forth. And this is a harder stitch to learn how to use when you're beginning digitizing, but you'll find that as you digitize more and more, you'll utilize this stitch. So I'm going to go ahead and define one side, then the other. I'm going to click, I'm going to drop a stitch in here basically. Now I'm going to hold down Control as I go around this curve. You can see I'm trying to keep these stitches going in a uniform manner so that we don't have any hard angles. And this is the kind of the more difficult part about going around structures like this, is getting it to where you're not getting it to go hard around a corner, because any hard corners that you create are going to cause problems at the machine. You'll want it to kind of flow as much as possible. So we're just clicking around this object. When we get to the end here, I'm just going to click that one. I'm going to right mouse click, and now you see I have that green triangle saying where do you want to start. Let's say I want to start right here and I want to end right here. I put those and it's done, and it created that satin stitch. So it gave me the option to choose where I wanted to put the start and end point. You'll notice on the other object I was able to create angle lines, and I was using the regular satin stitch. But the classic satin, everywhere I clicked points is where it actually put the angle lines. So let's go ahead and zoom out here. Now let's go ahead and do this structure utilizing the steel stitch. And you'll notice again in the advanced mode it really doesn't change, but we'll go ahead and do it here. So I'm going to come in here and create this structure. Drop a stitch in here. I'm going to left mouse click while holding Control. I'm going to click, left mouse click, and now I'm going to hold down Control and go around this structure here. I'm going to release the left mouse click, release the Control rather, and then I'm going to left mouse click right here, drop a little stitch in here, hold down Control, release the Control, and just regular mouse click, drop a stitch, hold down Control, and click, release the Control, left mouse click, hold down Control, left mouse click all the way over to here, drop a little stitch, hold down Control, and left mouse click. Now I've got to finish this structure because it is a steel stitch. So let me left mouse click right there, and then right mouse click to set the stitches. So you'll notice that I don't get the option to change the start point and end point, and I don't get the option to change angles in advanced mode when working with the steel stitch. I only get those options when I'm working with the regular satin and the classic satin.